This is a short tutorial on LINQ, or Language Integrated Query. My name is Simon Deneen. I'm a Director of Java Consult, a London-based training company. LINQ is a set of language and framework features for querying local collections and XML documents, as well as remote data sources such as SQL Server. LINQ can filter, transform and order a sequence. A sequence is any generic IEnumerable object, such as an array of type int. This UML diagram shows a few of the classes and interfaces in the collections framework. Collections, including hash sets, arrays, lists and dictionaries, all implement the IEnumerable interface. Opening the documentation for IEnumerable, you can see that it contains a number of extension methods for filtering, transforming and performing aggregate operations on a sequence. Among these is the where method, which filters a sequence of values based on a predicate. The first parameter is prefixed by this, indicating that this is an extension method of IEnumerable. The second parameter is of type func tsource boolean, which tests each element in the sequence for a condition. The method returns an IEnumerable containing the elements that satisfy this condition. Clicking on func, this is a delegate type encapsulating a method that has one parameter and returns a value of the type specified by the tResult parameter. Method 1 meets this criteria. It takes an int argument and returns I mod 2 equals 0, which is true if I is an even number. Method 1 can be passed into the func constructor to create an instance of func called delegate1. Delegate1 can now be passed into the where extension method of the IEnumerable object. This returns a filtered sequence. As a shortcut, method 1 can be passed into the where method without first building the func object. Returning to the methods of IEnumerable, the select method projects each element of a sequence into a new form. This also takes a func parameter describing the transform function to apply to each element in the sequence. Method 2 projects I into I cubed. Passing this into the select method returns a sequence of doubles. Instead of writing a separate named method, such as method 1, an anonymous method can be passed in as a lambda expression. This can be read as I such that I mod 2 equals 0. Equals more than is the lambda operator. The type of I is inferred from the generic type of the IEnumerable sequence that's being filtered, which in this case is of type int. Similarly, the projection can be written as a lambda expression. This could be read as I becomes I cubed. Query operators can be chained. For example, the sequence of integers could first be filtered and then projected. This will return an IEnumerable containing the cubes of even numbers. The LINQ examples so far have used method syntax. An alternative is to use query syntax. Query expressions start with a from clause and end with a select or a group clause. Between these two required clauses are optional where and order by clauses. The from clause declares a range variable, I, which traverses the input sequence, numbers. The where clause filters the sequence, and the select clause projects each element in the sequence, in this example projecting I into I cubed. The enumerable class provides a set of static methods for querying and generating objects that implement IEnumerable. The range method generates a sequence of integers within a specified range. This is another way of generating the sequence. ToArray is an extension method of IEnumerable. Returning to methods of IEnumerable, all determines whether all elements of a sequence satisfy a condition, and count returns the number of elements in a sequence. This example uses these methods to calculate how many prime numbers there are below 1,000,000. The range method generates a sequence of 1,000,000 integers starting at 2. The where method takes a predicate argument. This could be read as n such that a sequence from 2 up to the square root of n meets the condition that n mod I equals 0 for all elements in the sequence, where I is the range variable for the second sequence. The count method then returns the number of elements in the filtered sequence. Adding a stopwatch object, starting it before the calculation, and then stopping it, you can see the elapsed time. The asParallel method of IEnumerable enables parallelization of a query. In a multi-core PC, this should perform the calculation more quickly. Thanks for watching this short tutorial. We run public courses in London too. Refer to javaconsult.com.